podcast initiative by Selling Club. How are you today?
I'm very fine. Thank you so much, Shruti.
Today we have a very special topic to talk about, and it's related to not just education. I think every aspect of our life, and that is mental health. Before we begin, if you could tell us about your very diverse journey through education and mental health.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shruti, for inviting me today because mental awareness topic is very, very close to my heart. And before I begin introducing myself, I would like to congratulate Selin and team, the entire team for doing this tremendous work. Kudos to
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. So I began my educational journey in the field of education when my children were in preschool. I used to wonder with the same kind of nurturance, same family dynamics, everything we were providing same, but their response to different situations was very different. And at the same time, in my school, I was working for this journal on psychology. So everything was going very parallel. I worked for the journal, used to edit and write and contribute a lot of research papers in that. My boss and I used to work together for that for long 8 years. I think that is the turning point. I pursued masters in psychology to understand it better because I wanted to do justice to the students I was catering to and to the journal. And while doing that psychology, I started doing internships on Sundays because I was
Wow.
working, so I could not afford time on weekdays. So that and the passion started growing, and I was promoted as headmistress. So now, in the leadership role, I could observe children who were entering school in the preschool and they were going till senior secondary school. You know, their developmental stages, how they feel, how they emote, how do they respond to different things, how looking at a child, you can understand the family dynamics.
Very true.
You can understand how a teacher is dealing with the emotions of the child. And one fine day, I felt that I'll be better suited in mental health because I'd done a lot in the educational institutions. I enjoyed my journey fairly well, and here I am working in the field of mental health now.
That's really amazing. I mean, I won't say that everybody should think in the same manner, but to realize something and to be able to understand to a level wherein you just don't understand the circumstances, but actual the wiring of a kid or even an individual. That's really, I think it's very important to act, even if you're having
Yes.
any conversation to know, and you'll get to know that there is something that is going on, or not just disturbance, there are few things people react to in a different manner. Right. So even if you're able to understand as that as an individual, I think it speaks for itself on a very human level.
Yes, yes. And I believe communication is the main cause of connections, and communication itself is the main cause of all conflicts.
Very true. Very true. You've mentioned that a mental health should be priority for everybody. What exactly, like, when you say this, what exactly do you mean? And I mean, it's preached a lot, but what do you think that can be done on a very practical manner when we say it's a priority for everybody?
So, when we are talking about mental health, or in fact, when we are talking about holistic wellness, it is not just the physical health that we are talking about, because poor mental health can lead to several physical health issues.
Very
Some
true.
are genetic. We do get genetic diabetes and blood pressure and a lot of other things. But poor mental health also leads to diabetes, blood pressure, stress, anxiety, depression, and in extreme cases, suicide ideation also. So it is I believe it is utmost necessary to be taking care of the mental health along with the physical health. You must have noticed if I'm not feeling good today, in my mind, I can't do it. Even if I have full physical energy, I will not be able to do it. But if I think I can do it, I will definitely be able. So it really matters to have a very, very strong mental setup. So it should be valued, promoted, and protected by all means. Not just adults. I would say that children at the youngest possible age also need to be taught about how to make conscious effort to prioritize mental health for a balanced life later on in future.
I mean, imagine if we were taught that. It would have been a very different story. But when you say, kids can be taught in that manner, what all, I mean, just in a brief, if you could tell us that, what all can be taught to a kid to be able to recognize that maybe today is not a good mental health day, or, to actually maintain that wellness that we talk about, holistic wellness. What can, parents or teachers can actually integrate in their teachings for this?
Right. So, as we say that we are the role models, we are the ultimate authority for a little child. When they grow up, it is a little different from what it used to be in the early years, but it has to start young. So, when I say that children should be taught, they can be taught. First and foremost, role play. Role play, as in terms of not role playing, I'm saying model the behavior that you're expecting from the child. Secondly, role play helps a lot in schools. Create a situation, give them a story. When they are reading, when they are into that situation, let's see how are they responding. Then we have to teach them to label their emotions. It's not just I'm not feeling good or I am not feeling bad. I'm feeling bad. It is I am feeling angry. I am feeling sad. I am frustrated. It's okay. It's okay to feel jealous also. It's okay to feel any kind of feeling, but you have to learn to give label to that emotion so that when you know the root cause of that emotion, you'll be able to address. Simultaneously, we have to teach them that even if you're not able to address that issue right now, there may be certain reasons for that. It can be made to rest. We can do that later. We can revisit that. In a very simple example, I'll tell you, I was taking one workshop with the NGOs and I was trying to teach them anger management. So I asked them, when you are going for an exam, do you get some cramps in your stomach? They said, yes. Do you feel very heavy when there is a lot of homework and you're not able to finish it? Yes. When you're very angry, your back hurts. So your emotions are visiting your body parts. There is a movement. We have to teach children the same, adults and children, everyone. Because I don't think we are trained to label our emotions.
We are not.
We are not. Yeah, there are a lot of activities which can be done with children to teach them how to be emotionally intelligent and how to bounce back from certain situations. Situations will happen. How to bounce back from that?
Yeah. Uh, how do you see the role of schools? I mean, you've been in the leadership role. You are a parent, and as a parent or school, how do you think that the role of school and parents are kind of involved in nurturing the entire mental health? I mean, obviously, it is the most time that a kid spends is in school and with the parents. So apart
Yes.
from all the friend circle and all of that, but these two things, these two aspects of their life is where the kid is spending the most time. How do you think that these two as a joint venture can be nurturing a kid's mental health?
Yes. As I mentioned earlier, also working in schools had been the most amazing experiences of all times. You meet varied age groups. You meet different kind of people from different professions, from different walks of life, from different mental setup. Same with the team also. When teachers are coming to school, they are also bringing in some baggage. If they had something good at home, they are very excited. They're bringing the same to the class. Similarly, for everyone. So it had been amazing. But yes, definitely, it is a joint venture. I'll quote a very simple example here again. If a child is coming to school, the child is brilliant, had been doing everything on time, but was not able to submit any project. The teacher came frustrated for some reason. Maybe the boss only scolded and she's in a bad mood. The teacher did not ask what is the reason? She just marked, scolded the child, sent the child back, wrote a note in the diary. The child is going back, mother is busy, father is busy with their official work. I'm not saying office is wrong, but yes, maybe at that point of time they're busy. And instead of listening to the child, what had happened, what went wrong, the mother also scolded because she received a note complaining about the child. Now,
Yeah.
where is the little child going to go? They're not able to express, they cannot explain because nobody is trying to listen to them.
Yeah.
So it is a partnership of both the parties which can help to maintain that mental health journey for the child any day.
Very true. With the child, they become like this. They keep bouncing back from here to there. I mean,
Yes,
and no, I don't think anybody will not be able to relate. This has happened to almost everybody.
everybody. So
Yeah.
we start treating, instead of treating the root cause of the problem, we try to address the symptoms.
Yeah.
If I have fever today, I'll start taking antipyretics instead of looking at the situation. Why is it? So looking at the root cause of problem is very, very important. And that is how mental health can be balanced for our children.
Yeah. You are also parenting coach. Could you tell us more about that?
So when I say that I'm a parenting coach, I think I've gathered a lot of experience. I'm using all the skill set in dealing with the emotions that a child goes through in all these stages of life. My own children are in college now and have been through ups and downs and everything in life. And the only one message that I want to give to parents is be intent listeners. They come up with every possible thing. They are ready to share everything. They are not looking for solutions from us. They have their
Yeah.
solutions within them. They just want us to listen to them intently and offer solutions when it is required, when they are asking for it. So instead of holding the hand all the time, just be there. So, in my parenting workshops, I generally talk to the parents. I share the types of parenting styles that we have and let them choose whatever they want to.
Right.
Where I share the experiences that I had in my office as a leader in the leadership role, or as a parent, or as when my children's friends come and discuss a lot of things. I mean, you gather a lot of experiences which are used in all these workshops. So I'll share my own experience when I was in a school and I was a primary school facilitator. I used to play a lot of games with my children, with my students, and we were playing in the playground. And one child fell down, and he had a big wound here. He fell flat on the face. He was bleeding, and I just knelt on my knees and I tried to hug the child. I hugged him very tight, but his body language was very tight. He kept his hands tight. He did not hug me back. Generally, children do that. Whatever age group, children do that. They respond back by hugging. You are comforting them.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, the child was not even crying. I was feeling bad. I felt like crying. The child was bleeding bad. So I got a little concerned. I called the parents and I called both the parents to come and meet me next day when the child is a little fine. But the father did not turn up. Only the mother came. And you won't believe, in this age also, the story was exactly Tare Zameen Par. The elder child was doing very fine. The little child was not performing to
Yeah.
to his expectations. Mother was a
Yeah.
quiet spectator because she did not know what to do.
Yeah.
Then to promote the child, he was doing fine academically, but father wanted him to be on the top one. And he was very clear. I tried to explain, he's so good in sports. He's such a good orator. Nothing worked. So I requested the principal, and we devised a special category in sports only, where we could show that the child is doing really well. We called the parents to the function, and the father again commented, "Ma'am, how does it matter? He's still not doing academically that well as my elder child." That happens. That happens in real life. These are all real
Yeah.
life situations. Slowly
Yeah.
and gradually, I started to speak to the mother on daily basis. She used to come to pick the child. I used to talk to her. Slowly and gradually started going to their home. She could convince the father to come to school often. And that is how the journey started. And in 2, 3 years' time, you could see a transformational change in the child. He was a bubbly child after 3 years. It took a long time to reach there. But yes, it does matter. And these things happen. And so much so, when you're in a school setup, educational setup, in a college setup, you observe too much happening outside.
Yeah. I think the comparison never ends. It
Never
starts from the
ends.
very, for a kid, even for an adult. I mean,
Yes.
getting compared to your peers or whatever the other person is doing, other community is doing, or whatever it is. I think the comparison never stops. I think
So,
it's so integrated also.
so I believe we should be teaching our children that you are your own competition. You're not going to compete with
Yeah.
others. Maintain a diary.
Yeah.
I was here in 2022, and when I check my skill set next year, oh my God, so many things have changed.
Is there any message that you'd like to tell? See, we talk about what things have been changed in the entire few years, whatever has happened, people are vocal about it and everything, but there's still a taboo. There's still a lot of taboo, irrespective of whatever industry you're in, irrespective of whatever sector you're in. But when I talk about education, for me, education, any type of education is an enabler, something which will enable you to do something.
Yes.
And especially when education leaders and teachers who are kind of molding these global citizens, and they are very integral part of it, apart from parenting. Obviously, I used to worship my teachers, so I know I used to tell my mom that no, you're wrong, my teacher is correct. So at that
Yes, that
level
happens.
also, yeah, at
Yes.
that level also, they're worshipped. So when we talk about this, a lot of teachers are not able to actually accept that they're not okay, or maybe they might be facing some kind of issue. So what would be your message for them so that they can, probably hold on to it and kind of carry on, not just for the sake of it?
You're absolutely right. Mental health is a taboo. We should actually change its name. It should be mental strength now. Though
Yeah.
it is a taboo, people do not want to understand what mental health is all about. All of us have bad days.
Yeah.
All of us can have lows and highs. It's perfectly all right. So my message to the educators will be keep calm. Everyone is coming with a baggage. You have to learn to carry that baggage or leave that baggage. You have to prioritize yourself, love yourself. And when we are talking about loving ourselves, that doesn't mean that we will be leaving anyone else aside. We have to choose our words wisely so that we are not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
So, if teachers are able to understand their mental health better, it is going to be a happy, happy situation, win win situation anyway, because only a happy teacher can bring happiness to the class who are bubbling with excitement all the time. And this is what we need.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
that is the crux of everything. It takes time for them to come out of their shells. But yes, if the leadership is open, is accepting, they do come up. I have seen cases who come to you and they tell you very openly that this is happening in my family. I can't handle it. So you have to ease them a little at work. Ease them a little for a while. This situation shall pass. This will definitely pass. Nothing stays. Nothing is permanent. So if we are, we are earning that loyalty from them when we are giving them hand to hold, when they are too stressed or they are facing some kind of imbalance somewhere else. That really
Yeah.
helps.
What are your views on, child therapy or teenage therapy?
Uh, Again, very essential because these are the times, as we say, that we have to catch them young. If we can see any kind of concern, we must, expose the child to the therapy because early intervention is always better. And therapies are amazing. You're not doing anything harsh in that. It is just bringing normalcy to the child's life, where the child is not able to handle his or own emotions. So we are just helping with that. And therapies do help a lot. Even for the teenagers, as we say that addiction is a lack of willpower. No, it is not. The child may be trying hard, maybe
Yeah,
because of the peer pressure, he went into that. Maybe because he did not want to be bullied at that point of time. They
very
have a
true.
lot of pressure. They're going through certain phases and stages of life. So if they are given therapies, it does work wonders before they enter the
Absolutely.
outer world. Because in school, you are very protected. Parents also protect you a lot, and till class 12, teachers also keep you very protected. When you go outside, it is altogether a new world for them. So before that, if they are getting therapies, nothing like it.
Do you think that school should mandate that? Plus, I think I have actually seen this that um, if the kids are going to therapy, a lot of parents actually intervene in the entire process. And so there are two sets of questions I wanted to ask. Do you think that it should be mandatory for pre-teens actually to go through therapy, even if it is in school? And is it really important for parents to intervene into that therapy all the time? I'm not saying if there is something dangerous that you see, obviously parents should enter, but not all the time. What are your thoughts on that?
No, parents should not intervene because it is done by professionals only. So a professional understands it better. Though it is a partnership, it is a collaboration, the parent can be told separately that this therapy is going to work like this. We cannot insist on a certain behavior only by doing therapies there. We
Hmm.
have to bring back the behavior at home also. So parent has to be in loop. And when
Right.
parent is going for the therapy with the child or has already understood the process, he can be given certain pointers by the professional which can be implemented at home again to help the child. So parents should not intervene till the time, again, as you mentioned, that it is dangerous.
I would like to ask you, what are your three actionable takeaways that you would like to suggest for anybody listening, irrespective of their teachers, parents, education leaders, students, what they should, like three actionable takeaways to prioritize mental health?
So, do you mind if I give four?
All yours.
Okay. Number one, as I mentioned earlier, love yourself. Prioritize. Prioritize. Number two, choose your words wisely. In the process of life, we should not be hurting others because if my mental health is a priority, so is the others. Learn to say no. And my favorite tagline is connect before you correct.
I'm noting
Connect
it
with
down.
anyone. I simply keep repeating that connect before you correct. Even if you are going to a class, before you start correcting them, connect with them. Childhood is the most innocent phase. They'll connect magically with your team as a boss. as a subordinate, first connect. Then you keep correcting for years. They will not mind. But if there is no connection, nothing works. So, first need of the hour is to be aware of mental health and ways to deal with it. So, in that, my takeaways would be love yourself, choose your words wisely, learn to say no, and the most important, connect before you correct.
Brilliant. I've noted it down for myself as well. How can our listeners follow your work and whatever you're doing, the workshops that you're doing, the coaching that you're doing, how can they follow? Is there obviously there's LinkedIn? Is there any email address that you'd like us to put it in the description, or you can mention it here?
Definitely. There are two ways to follow my work. I have not formalized it very much. That is why listeners do not know, though I've been doing this. I create a lot of videos on Instagram
Okay.
with the name Choice is Ours. So, to consciously lead a happy life, I won't say happy life, but yes, to be mindful of your actions. Choice always lies with us. Problems will keep coming, they'll keep going. Our reaction and our responses to any problem, any situation, the choice is ours. So, one is choice is ours. I keep adding, though I've not added a lot of bio to this, so it is not, maybe it is not reaching to listeners. I'll do that. And secondly, I have founded a company with the name School of Life,
Wow.
under which we are doing a lot of trainings on mental health, on teaching, learning, processes. And there is a very interesting name to one of the workshops. Dear Stress, let's take a break.
So thank you so much for taking out time to be here, one, and to give so much, not just advices, but actual, uh, lessons that will help not only teachers or parents, but everybody. I mean, I could sit here and relate to every takeaways, every advice that you had to give, not even as a teacher, not as an educator, but as a person, as a human being. And it speaks so much about your work. I really hope all the best to you for the new journey that you started, but not so new also, with all the brilliant experience that you have. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Shruti.